Okay. I'm live again. Just gonna wait. Just gonna wait. Oh, it's unlisted. Okay. Should be working now. Okay. I'm gonna just wait for people to join up. Any minute. Okay. Yep. All of that. Nope, you're actually third in the chat. I'm gonna need to know. I hope that I get some One Piece power scalers in here. Like if Plushy Pirate got in chat, that would be dope. Because he's a One Piece power scaler that also does Wisp. I was actually gonna take a nap, but I'm like, meh, I'll just stream because I got time. But I do got some allergies right now, so if I sound a little weird, that's why. I'm just gonna. Hey, Giyu. That's nice. That's nice for you. The first is you're actually first. I haven't watched like half of the stuff you've requested. I didn't even make the thumbnail. I just kind of Googled it. I just kind of like Googled Kaido versus Loki, and I just kind of found that. I could probably change the thumbnail. Yeah, I'll probably change the thumbnail after. I don't like using AI slop. But Kaido versus Loki. Yeah, that is AI slap now that I think about it. I'll probably just get a picture of Kaido actually. Kaido manga panels. Yeah, I'm gonna just use like a random colored panel of Kaido. All right. Yeah, I'm just trying to change the thumbnail real quick. All right. Okay. So who do you think is the best overall editor? In all factors, I don't really know. Not as good with One Piece scaling as I am with Demon Slayer and JJK, but I've been back to it at least a little these past few weeks. Not gonna lie, after the chapter Luffy got stabbed, I'd like to talk about One Piece scaling, but what's it called? I don't know if my chat is with it. But yeah, I'm just trying to change this thumbnail. Yeah, I'm just gonna random panel. Yeah, random ass Kaido panel. Just give me a sec. All right. All right, got my image. I'm gonna just change the thumbnail. Okay. Sneeze like shit. All right. All right. I changed the thumbnail. Okay. So, which is the best in the big three and why? So there's different ways that I'd categorize the big three. I think Bleach is the most like complex of all three of them. I think it deals with the most amount of like unique themes. I think One Piece excels in like its world building and its emotions. Like I think it's more emotional than Bleach. I think Naruto excels really good at its fighting. I think it's also a pretty emotional and deep series. Um okay. Do you have EUS Akaza above EUS Gyu above Akaza because he can activate the red blade himself? Probably. Where do you have highballed Emu? The most I can see Emu being scaled to is like star level. I guess I can just get into the actual topic of the stream, but there's been this widespread perception that Kaido has been Powercliffed. I've seen people think that like Shanks can like low diff Kaido. I've seen people think that Loki like mid diffs Kaido. I think Luffy beating Kaido is a fair take, but people have been downplaying Luffy and by proxy Kaido. But which I'm probably just gonna like get into it because like there's just once you actually look at the feats, there's not really a lot to back it. I'm gonna just pull up my my community post because I just like I do just show two scans that just directly compares what's it called Kaido to Shanks. It says right here you can't I can't really like zoom in onto the full thing. I don't know how to do that. But image a new tab. I'll just do that. Let's see if that should work. No, it doesn't. I don't know why I can't really like pull up the whole freaking page on my Mac. But it basically says that Kaido stands shoulder to shoulder with Shanks and Whitebeard. It's actually on this part of the page, but again, I can't really see it. It doesn't include Big Mom, so if it was referring to just Kaido's status as a Yonko, then I would just assume that it would include Big Mom since she's also a Yonko. But it doesn't. So I take this to mean that he's relative to them in terms of strength. This one also, I'm not really gonna like harp on those panels because I can't really pull them up. But that panel essentially says that Kaido and Shanks clashed. Him being relative to Shanks is fine. What does that mean? It means that Kaido in no way has been Powercliffed because Shanks is a clear top tier in the verse, at least at this point. So arguing that Kaido is getting washed by people like Loki makes no sense to me because Shanks was able to beat she was able to beat Loki 6 years ago. He was able to beat Loki 6 years ago. And Kaido clashed with a Shanks from 2 years ago. And even if you think that Shanks got stronger, that doesn't really matter for the argument. He clashed with Shanks 2 years ago. And he's able to gauge that from that Shanks is one of the top tier. So it's not like some lower display of Shanks' power. It's probably like some high relativity clash that he's able to gauge that Shanks is one of the greats. And then afterwards, he still thinks, and I'll probably just pull it up. I forget what chapter the Kaido fight happens. I think it's like, it's here. Okay. So right here, it's shit. It's no, it's not there either. Damn, I cannot find it. No, it's the chapter before. Is it? yeah. So, Kaido like knows about Shanks. um he gauged that Shanks was one of the greats, and he still thinks that there's no one in the world that can defeat him. I'm not saying that this statement gets Kaido above Shanks, because Kaido isn't the word of God, obviously, but it does mean that Shanks couldn't have beaten him in their little exchange, because if he did, Kaido saying this would make no sense. Loki over the admirals, including Akainu. I don't know about that. We haven't seen Shanks versus Kaido nor Loki versus Shanks, so you can't make that argument. I think you can. I think the narrative is pretty clearly pointing towards the idea that Kaido, not Kaido, Shanks did stop Kaido in like a fair exchange. Like, let me pull this shit up. It's shit. Yeah, a year ago, a man named Red-haired Shanks captured Loki, but prior to that, no one was ever able to stop him. So my thing with that is that, what's it called? It implies that Shanks did it by himself. And if you're like skeptic to the idea that Shanks did it by himself, we have, what's it called? There was a bit of skepticism towards that. Like, I was skeptic towards that before, because I thought maybe like Shanks' crew maybe got in it because Loki considers Shanks a coward, but it stated that he considers Shanks a coward because he wouldn't fight Emu with him. So, what's it called? If Shanks jumped him with his crew, I think that would be one of the reasons Loki considered him a coward. But it's not. It's not like that's not even like implied at all. Even after Luffy went Gear 5, Kaido still had the upper hand and chose to get hit by a Bajring gun. Yeah, I think he would have won if he just dodged the attack. Okay. Do you think Yorichi's see-through world is different than the others because when Kokushiba was dying, he said that he couldn't reach the same world he's in, or was it a mistranslation from what I read? I think that's just saying that Yorichi was in a completely different realm to them, in the sense that he's just way stronger. I scale him to like 5D or low multiversal at best. Do you think Shanks had Dwarf Planet and FTL or higher? I think he's higher. I don't know what you mean by Dwarf Planet. Full potential Kaigaku slams Enmu. Who takes potential, Kaigaku or Enmu? I think Enmu has higher potential. Actually, I don't know about that. I think once you're able to counter his I think once you learn how to wake up from his technique, it becomes kind of useless. No, I understood that. I meant like low multiversal to low complex multiversal at best. I'm not making Tao Pai Pai versus Muzan. Yeah, I think he's at least planetary. Yeah, I could look at the comments on the post. I didn't really know whether I should, because what's it called? There weren't really a lot of meaningful comments that I felt like reacting to, but I could. So, yeah. So I'll just go to the newest. Shouldn't Shanks be above him since he's narratively above Luffy, who's above Kaido? I don't think there's anything within the narrative that implies that Shanks has to be superior to Luffy. At this point, like at this point, Luffy's main goal is to surpass the Pirate King. His goal is Roger, not Shanks. So unless you think Shanks is above Roger, then this wouldn't necessarily get Shanks above Kaido. But even if he is above even if he is above Luffy and Kaido, I think that's fine because I think that Kaido is at least relative, which is what I'm trying to prove. I'm not trying to prove that Kaido is like top 1 or something. Kaido views himself as the strongest because he hasn't been beaten. He himself says that whoever beats him is Joy Boy, and that is what Luffy did. Yeah, he's basically just saying that Kaido's statement is invalid, which I agree with. The statement was just to say that it proves that Shanks didn't beat him, which is true. If Kaido got beat by Shanks, then the statement makes no sense. This wrong post where you should post that. Loki over Shanks. I don't think there's any way to prove that Loki's actually above Shanks. Oh God. Oh God. Okay. I think this whole rabbit hole is just to say that Luffy got stronger, like way stronger after Wano, so he's above Kaido. I think he's also trying to say that Shanks should be above Big Mom, who's relative to Kaido. I don't think Big Mom is actually relative to Kaido. It's actually kind of hard to prove that Big Mom is relative to Kaido. Their little scuffle doesn't prove it. Hold on, Kaido. Yeah, I didn't know what chapter was, so I just googled this shit. He just says, "I wonder how long it's been since I fought someone who could truly go toe to toe with me." So if if Big Mom was actually relative to him, that wouldn't make any sense. And he also calls Big Mom pathetic when she gets knocked off the island. So I actually don't think that there's anything to prove that Kaido and Big Mom are relative. Their scuffle doesn't prove it because what's it called? They were in their base forms for one. And for two, what's it called? Kaido's haki he's progressively increasing his haki potency against Luffy. That's just directly stated. And what's it called? They come out of the fight like what's it called? Like barely damaged at all. So if we argued that they're like truly relative, and that was like a actually like actual like full display of her full display of their power, then what's it called? They should be more damaged than that. I don't think that makes sense. I think that's silly. I especially think that Drunken Kaido is above base Big Mom. Drunken base Kaido is above base Big Mom because what's it called? He's like easily able to weave attacks from like Advanced Conqueror Luffy. Kaido used Future Sight once against Luffy and never again, implying he never went all out. I don't know why he never used. What's it called? Future Sight, like later. I don't know why that's the case. I don't think there's anything to prove that. Oh hey, Plushy Pirate. I actually mentioned you earlier. This is a One Piece stream, so I wanted to. I was hoping that you would hop by, but I'm essentially just going over why Kaido hasn't been Powercliffed and why he should be. I'm surprised no one's asked about how like why Loki isn't just above through the new chapters and why like Luffy did really badly against Imu, and I'm like, I just hate those arguments. I went over all of that in the last stream. It's not that hard, man. Kaido is relative to Shanks, like current, like at least Shanks from pre-time skip, and Loki lost to Shanks 6 years ago. Okay. Yeah, Loki. I think Loki could surpass Kaido since he is gonna be like a big game player, and he's been injured for the entire arc. but that's not really like an argument. So like you would have to quantify how strong he is after the when he's like healthy, which you can't really do because he doesn't have feats yet. Um y'all got Kaido over why am I forgetting what HK stands for? Harold. I think I think it's easy to prove he beats Harold. Um yeah, the recent chapters definitely disprove that notion. The recent chapters definitely disprove that notion. Um like the person that will come and surpass people like the old gen is gonna be Luffy. Now, I don't know. At first when I read this I was like, "Oh shit." Does this mean like Odin and Shanks are like massively above like Luffy, especially Odin and like this Crocus? Um but Whitebeard reiterates this statement at the end of Marineford. He says that Teach isn't the one that they've been waiting for, and someone will come to surpass them. So, um, it Loki isn't that guy yet. Um, Domi Zebek versus Hybrid Kaido and Big Mom Ultimate Form. I think, honestly, I think Domi Zebek. I don't know, because the only thing that's making this like skeptical for me is what's it called? There is a statement that says that Zebek was Roger's greatest foe, so that could imply he's stronger than like Prime Whitebeard. But I don't know about that because he's like relative to God Valley Roger and Garp, and he's like God Valley Whitebeard clashes with him. So um it's really hard to scale the dude. You can argue that it's his hard. It was You can argue that it was Roger's hardest foe because he didn't want to fight Rocks because he was like crying. I guess that's the only way I can interpret it to make sense. Um, I've been procrastinating on finishing the script, but I'll finish it this week. I'll record it this week, and then I'll try my best to finish it next week. But no promises. Um, okay. Do you think Loki is above Kaido? I just joined, so I didn't hear none about worries. I think Kaido beats Loki. Um, would you say King over Kaido in terms of durability is crazy? I don't think it's that crazy. Um, I think it's a little crazy because Kaido does get stronger after Zoro cuts him and like doesn't do damage to King. So you can argue Kaido's more durable, but I don't know how you'd prove it. I'm not ignoring you. I think Kaido has like top 2 or 3 durability in the verse. I think Rox has been Powercliffed, yeah. Has been completely Powercliffed, and that Roger's graded foe can be just disregarded like every other contradictory guide statement or refers to something other than strength. Yeah, I just gave an interpretation to that. It can just mean that you know how like Roger was like crying before he had to like finish off Rox. You can argue that he just didn't want to do it. He just didn't want to like kill him. Like it was his hardest fight, like mentally. I think Kaido definitely beats like base rocks. I don't know how base rocks is kind of mid. Rocks just has no scale. No, he does have scale. Like he does. He is strong, but he's not like that strong. Like nah, man. He's definitely not. I disagree with what he said about Genya's shotgun just being Mach 1, but that's about it. Especially since the bullets are just being propelled by special gunpowder, so it would be reasonable for them being faster. Please read this. I'm desperate for an idea. What should I name my 2 white kins? I asked at the community post. I don't know. I'm not good at naming things. Yeah, I think Kaido's underrated. I think Kaido could definitely beat Base Rocks. Why wouldn't he? I think all the things that imply that he did are just taken out of context. Like Loki didn't really do that much better than Luffy. like like Loki didn't do that much better than Luffy in terms of like speed. He didn't really do that much better in terms of like what's it called? He had better AP showings because Luffy didn't really damage Loki. I mean, didn't really damage Emu. He didn't really damage Emu. Loki did he damaged Emu in base, but you can argue Emu was off guard. Loki did damage Emu while he was on guard. So that's a better feat. But in terms of speed, they're both just able to somewhat react. You can argue that Emu's actually not trying as hard against Loki. Loki actually says that Emu's underestimating him. But you can also say that Loki had a better showcase because Luffy was actually fighting against a weakened Emu because Emu was getting progressively weakened by staying on Elbaf. But I think it's just all unquantifiables. I don't think there's anything in there that definitively proves that Loki beats Luffy. You can argue he beats Luffy just because of the time limit, but I'm starting to question that too because Luffy has started to have pretty good endurance and stamina with Gear 5. So I don't even know if he has the stamina issues. In chapter 1158, Roger and Rocks are called rival pirates, which means Rocks relative to God Valley Roger, and there's no way you can scale him to Prime Roger, who's had 20 years post Rocks. I agree with that. What do you think is going to happen now that Emu is in his demon form? The only way I can see this happening is that he runs out of time and has to go back to Mary Joa. If that doesn't happen, then they just have to beat Emu, which I think would be weird because Emu should be like the strongest. I think they should save Emu, but it depends on Oda. Nah, man, there's not, unless you think Roger and like Garp got like a little teeny tiny bit stronger over the 20 years, which makes no sense to me. They should do very well against Rocks. Huh? That doesn't make sense at all. Everyone in the new world is is fighting to accomplish something. That doesn't prove anything at all. It can't be referring to status either because that was Rox's era. Power makes sense, man. Especially since Whitebeard's able to clash with Dummy Rocks. Are Luffy and Kid not rivals? They, I guess. I mean, are they? I mean, Kid certainly at this point isn't really contending with Luffy right now. Isn't he still in that? Isn't he still in the ocean after what Shanks did to him? Huh? One Piece is way better than Boruto. I don't even hate Boruto. I actually like it a little bit. One Piece is just way better. I think Prime Guard beats Kaido. Yeah, but I don't think it's like not close. No, I think Kaido beats Akainu. I think he beats every single admiral. Where does Harold stand against Roger, Whitebeard, and Rocks? He's equal to Rocks. He's below Whitebeard and Roger. I don't think he can one-shot Shanks. What do you mean? Was there something I needed to prove? I mean, you asked me a yes or no question. No, I have Luffy and Loki both individually above Kuzan. You could never prove Kaido is beating the admirals. What does the admirals have? What do the admirals have to get above Kaido? Like they actually don't have anything to get them above Kaido at all. But Kaido, we don't even know if Kaido is dead, and Kaido is unconscious in his base form. If Kaido could die from just falling into lava, you'd think he would have tried it. um, better feats than what? Than Luffy and Loki? How? We are just lying. We are just lying right now. Um, congrats. You can prove that that I don't know how to like properly what's it called? Transition into the topic of the stream. Congratulations, man. I'm really proud of you. It's such an achievement. I mean, if you got a problem, like, you know, you can always leave. um that's not logical. Kaido didn't. You don't know if Kaido's dead. No, you're actually timed. Anyways, massively holding back against Garp. I don't know how you'd prove he's massively holding back. Like, Garp and Kuzan both equally clash after after Garp gets like injured. There's no. I think Kuzan was holding back at the start. I don't know how you'd prove he's holding back at the end when he clashes with Garp. That is a win con, but if he does lethal damage to Kaido on initial hit, he can always just activate Future Sight. I think that's a fine take. I just don't know how you'd prove it. Please, dear God, get rocks out of that list. Get rocks out of that list, bruh. Where's Whitebeard? Probably, yeah. What do you mean a top tier? What do you mean a top tier? I don't know. I don't think she's like in the top 10. If that's what you mean. Like, Kaido has some of the best endurance and durability in the series. You're gonna have to put in work to kill that dude. Like, Duranig, and like Luffy getting help from multiple people, which, to be fair, they didn't really do much, but they're at least commander level. Took all of those guys to beat Kaido, and it took Luffy getting 3 runbacks to beat Kaido. Like, I think anyone, even if you think he's gonna like lose to like Shanks, I think he's gonna have to put in work to kill him. Yonkos equal admirals is mostly just statements, and the fact that when Yonkos fight admirals, there's never a definitive winner. I mean, that's fair. No, I don't think Kaido would go high diff against Emu. I think Kaido would get spliffed by Emu in the same way that I think Shanks would get spliffed by Emu. Mihawk, Shanks, Loki, all mid diff Kaido. There's no world where we're proving that. We heard you the first time. How is this glaze? It's literally stated he's shoulder to shoulder with Shanks. I think they'll be equal. I don't think there's going to be anyone above one another. I think they're going to be equal in the same way I think that Rayleigh and Gavon are equal. Is this rage bait? Is this rage bait? That's funny. Um, do you think bounty scaling is correct? Because like, no, it's not. No, it's not correct. Akainu, Akainu doesn't have that bounty solely because of his power. He's literally the fleet admiral. Look, I can accept Shanks over Kaido. I cannot accept Shanks low diffing Kaido. That's the difference. Very high. Probably like in the top 5. I agree it's more impressive, but I don't think what's it called? It means that Mihawk's gonna cliff Shanks. Okay, buddy. Okay, that deserves a timeout. You cannot be saying that shit in the here. Shanks does probably beat Kaido. I don't agree with Kaido getting low diffed, like I said. Why? Why would Shanks mid diff Kaido? I don't know. If I think that Sengoku would beat Kaido. You can argue he can because he's relative to Garp and Roger, but you can also argue Kaido is also relative to those guys. So again, there's no proof for that. What do you mean? I've been like this. I've been timing people. Okay, so if Luffy has gotten over his stamina issues, or at the very least has increased his stamina with Gear 5, I think he beats Loki. Cause what's it called? I don't think Loki's performance gets him above Luffy. And Luffy just has statements that he could beat up Loki. And it's not like Luffy's like a bad judge of character for like power levels. So I just don't know how you'd prove Loki beats or at least stronger than Luffy. No. They would not. If we're starting Kaido in his strongest form, again, I think Kaido's relative to Shanks, so I think he suns all of them. He was fighting a fresh emu that wasn't taking him seriously and was underestimating him, and also sunned him and impaled him at least twice. Yeah, he certainly did fight a fresh emu. Zenitsu speed blitzes. Exactly. Like Luffy sensed Kizaru's presence and he's like, oh my god, someone strong is coming. But like every time he's asked what he's gonna do with Loki, he's like, I'll beat him up. Like the only way to get Loki above Luffy is just by lying. Hello. None of that matters. Quantify his full power right now. Even if he is injured, I agree he's injured. I agree he has. I don't. Have we seen his hybrid form yet? I agree with all of that, but you can't prove he beats Luffy because of that. Huh? He got off guarded, and not only did he get off guarded, he didn't do any damage to Emu. and Emu's weakened. Big Mom is not relative to Kaido at full power. No. Kaido literally looks at like base to Gear 4 Luffy and is like, yeah, I haven't fought anyone that can go toe to toe with me in such a long time. I think Luffy wins. I think Luffy, Loki, and Shanks. Not Luffy. I think Luffy, Kaido, and Shanks beat Loki. Yeah. It's not just because Luffy said he'd beat Loki. If that was if that was the only thing, then I wouldn't even have a take on it. I don't think the performances against Emu get him above. I think Kaido's narratively relative to Shanks, a stronger Shanks likely than the one that beat Loki. So, but like, why? They fought for 3 days within their base forms and weren't even going all out. If they were going all out, why are they coming out of the 3 day exchange with no damage? It's just like a scuffle. It doesn't mean anything. Do you think Shanks is stronger than Mihawk or vice versa, or do you think they're equal? Um, it's hard to say for me right now. I had the take recently that Shanks wins. I had the take earlier than that Mihawk wins. I just don't even have a take right now. What do you mean? Levi gets one shot by like season 1 Tanjiro. No, it's not a crazy take. No diff. Okay, that I'd say low diff. If you like the lowest, I'd go is like low diff. Um, but we've seen Loki perform better than Luffy and tanked way more. That weight tanked way more than Luffy. Some of the shit Luffy straight up almost died to. That just gets Loki's endurance above Luffy. It's not like Loki doesn't also get impaled multiple times by Emu. And it's not like he's blitzing Emu. Like Emu sometimes just isn't even focused on Loki. He's just distracted. And and Loki himself says that Emu doesn't respect him. I agree that Emu isn't going fully all out on Luffy either. He speed blitzes him at the end too, but I'm saying their performances both suck. When when does he tank it much better than Luffy? He endures it better than Luffy. He gets like impaled multiple times and can get back up way better than Luffy. Um but that doesn't prove durability scaling. We're talking about durability, not endurance. I agree that I think Kaido has way better endurance than Luffy too. Huh? Flaming Bagua or Divine Departure? I have I think Shanks probably has stronger attacks than the casual Divine Departure he threw out on Kid. I don't know. I'd probably say Flaming Bagua though. Huh? Okay, so Goku without his battle IQ, he's still really strong. Saitama without durability literally can't survive the force of any of his punches. So Goku. I think Katakuri probably wins like high diff, mid to high diff. Like base rocks, I'd say Roger got it. I'm glad I have some. I'm glad there's like some One Piece discussion in the chat. I was kind of worried that there would be like no One Piece discussion, so that would have sucked. Um, yeah, exactly. He's like he like hates Joy Boy. It like kind of just makes sense that he would try harder against Luffy. I'm not saying he went all out against Luffy. He just didn't, but because he speed blitzes Luffy later, but he also speed blitzes Loki, so it just kind of sucks. um, did I say that? Did I say it was Goku? I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm just like maybe I'm just tired. Yes, Saitama's more cooked in that scenario. Mihawk versus Kaido. Um, Probably Mihawk. I would Mihawk high diff probably. Um, okay, so it would definitely be. Let me think. Let me think. Give me Show Tucker. Give me Show Tucker. Or give me Homelander. Give me Homelander without his powers. Um, is Green Bull slash Fujitora equal to Kizaru slash Kuzan because of their title? I don't know. I don't really know right now. Um, Green Bull's performance against like Green Bull getting like embarrassed by Shanks didn't really help, but I also think Kizaru would also get embarrassed by Shanks. Um, so I don't know. I think probably like it would probably be close. He's feetless, but he is way stronger than Luffy right now, so that's something. So I think he's stronger than most of the verse, barring like Emu. Yuhaba got that. Yeah. I've heard Asta has gotten like a universal upgrade. So if that's true, then Asta slams. Categories durabilities, two buddies getting two shotted by ulti. Plushie, you're a funny guy. Category absolutely styles on ulti. He's faster than Light by a pretty fast margin. Naruto is not low multiversal. I've seen a bunch of downplay on Naruto and Bleach. The most convincing downplay I've seen for Naruto is Toneri, like his body can't handle the energy of a star. So if that's true, shit. I mean, it doesn't really downscale the Boruto characters since they're all stronger than Toneri, but like Toneri is like Kaguya level, probably. So if that's true, then that's really bad. I mean, I didn't really have Madara or like those guys like higher than like planetary, so it wouldn't really matter to me. Um, that is for the general public, that is a hot take, but that's because the general public thinks that Naruto's weak. Um, if you're talking about the power scaling fandom, that is a hot take because they think that Naruto's way stronger. Um, I don't think Luffy gets. I really don't think Luffy's stats improve until he gets Advanced Conquerors. I really don't think his stats improve that much from Whole Cake. So I think him fighting Stinkman is hella impressive relative to someone like Ulti. Absolutely not. I think at best Luffy's faster. But even then, that's debatable. If Sukuna was in the One Piece verse and he had to learn the power system, would he be one of the strongest? Absolutely, he'd be one of the strongest. What's it called? Combining his jujutsu with all three advanced forms of hockey, I think he'd be a beast. Um, I think that's pretty obvious. I don't know if Joy Boy's above Emu, so I don't think Luffy will be top one end of series. I think he'll still be below Emu. I think they're gonna have to jump Emu to beat him. I think he's tanks cleaves to the chest. Law and I think Sanji beats Yamato right now. I used to have Yamato winning, but Sanji was confirmed equal to Zoro. So um he has more stamina than Baryon Naruto, but Baryon Naruto is gonna punch him to death. They'd be like they'd they'd beat Doflamingo. They'd probably get past Katakuri. They'd hard stop at Wano. Um, it's got to be Blackbeard. It's got to be Blackbeard. I think Blackbeard will be the main villain. I think Emu will be the strongest villain, but I think Blackbeard will be Luffy's final villain. Um, I mean, that's not really saying much. Naruto without Kurama with like Sage Mode and Boruto is beating all of Shippuden. It's like still a very strong character. Um, what's it called? I mean, if you want it, like okay. Um, okay. I think Saitama solos Boruto. I don't think he solos Shibai. I don't think he beats Shibai. He beats everyone else though. Maybe not Damon and Ada, but that's about it. Um, what's it called? Akainu over Emu in terms of tension caused in Elbaf and Marineford. Oh, absolutely. I'm not really feeling the tension from Emu right now. I felt all the tension from Akainu when he was like chasing Jinbei and Luffy. Jinbei, yeah. Oh, I will switch up. I will switch up. You will see Kagurabachi Edis. I mean, if you don't want to see Kagurabachi Edis, I mean that's on you. That's on you. Um, God no, they're done. They're done. I don't really agree with that right now. I think he could eventually, but right now he isn't really using it that well. Could he tank a Black Flash? Okay, so probably not. I don't think he's tanking a Black Flash. I think he's getting either fatally injured or he's just dying. Um, if Sukuna just doesn't use Fuga, might might be able to outlast him. That's about it. Um, the katana probably got that. Yeah, like if it's Yuta's bum ass Black Flash, then Yurichi's probably tanking it with no damage. Give me like Stardust Shippuden. Give me like A Kirin is one-shotting Sukuna. But probably Broly. Like, Broly went from like base Goku level to like blue Goku level, like hella fast. I mean, Saitama also does grow exponentially, but that's with intense emotion. Or Hime versus all of the Espada at once. Um, they're not gonna hit her. They're not fast enough. Um, they're, even if they were fast enough, she's just gonna deflect it. They're not breaking her defense. They'll just probably die. Yes. See ya, plushie. Yeah, it's easily uni. It's very easily uni. Probably not soon because Naruto's not really like that popular right now. Like it's not really doesn't really have that much movement. That's a whole can of worms. I'm not getting into that. Sneezing like shit. Again, not talking about that this stream. I really doubt that live action's gonna do good. I mean, One Pieces did good, but I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Yuha got that. Yuha slams all of Dragon Ball Z. Emu over Akainu over Shanks over Kuzan's equal to Akainu, so if you have Akainu over Shanks, then Kuzan also has to be above Shanks. Like, I think people need to understand that. Yeah, yeah, definitely. A-Gate's guy or Sanji? Probably Sanji. Guy doesn't even scale to his own attack potency. He straight up damages himself with his own power just by moving. So, and I don't think Guy's AP is even like that much above Sanji, if it even is. So, like, definitely not. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not calling him that. Yohaba. His name's weird. Okay. Why are we lying? We just lying. We just lying to lie. Kaido. Why did I say Kaido? Sanji got like easily spliffed by like Kizaru, not even trying. Unironically, I might have Yuha beating Goku. No one clipped that. Stable Jubito versus a live Hashirama. I see people say Hashirama wins. Jubito slams. Yeah, you can't really you don't really have a good attention span, so I don't really blame you. Obviously. Obviously, man, he's gonna be equal to like Zoro, who's gonna be above Mihawk. So obviously, he's gonna get a big upscale. Yes. What? um. Yeah, he better get an upskill this arc. They leaked him having Conqueror's Haki and then they just left it. All right, that's about an hour. So what's it called? I feel sick. So yeah, I'm gonna probably end stream. Goodbye, chat.